weight 55, Joan Guzman. You know, by rounds 3 and 4, I thought Funeka came back real well. But in the 5th round, Funeka didn't do much. I thought Joan Guzman pulled it out with the hard right hands, and then he gets an extra point for dropping him in the 6th. So I've got Joan Guzman with a 3-point lead so far. Interesting. I'll tell you something else. The state of Nevada, from 135 on up, uses 10-ounce gloves. I just don't understand it. These guys are fighting with 10-ounce gloves. Any other place in the world they'd be fighting with 8-ounce gloves, which would be an advantage to Guzman. So I think Guzman's being hindered by the bigger gloves. 4-2 Guzman.
All right, Harold. Well, obviously that knockdown a huge factor in this fight.
And this is why Guzman can't win the belt, but Funeka can. Now, it doesn't seem like a huge weight advantage, especially since today they weighed in only a couple pounds apart. Guzman at 148 and change, and Funeka at 144 and change, I believe.
But it's the work you have to do to make the weight leading up to it.
That's exactly right. Funeka, at his height especially, has to torture himself to make weight. Guzman doesn't. He just doesn't have to put himself through the same thing.
Lennox, what does Funeka have to do to sort of stabilize things here?
Well, you know, what he's doing now is trying to bring up the pressure. He senses a little bit of urgency because he doesn't like the fact that he got knocked down for one, so he's trying to get himself back into the fight. But, you know, I think the fact that he's working a lot more than Guzman is getting some good results from that.
One thing Funeka has not done as effectively as he did in the first fight, he landed 27% of his jabs in the first meeting. Right now he's at 17%. And that's because Guzman is giving him more angles.
Watch your head, watch your head.
I also think the weight is helping Guzman absorb some of these punches. He doesn't seem to be impressed with Funeka's punching power, where in the first fight, Funeka had Guzman hurt several times.
Lennox, is this not really the right place for Funeka in close like that?
Well, you know, he's not getting hit, but he is taking a chance in there because he's in Guzman's punching distance, and Guzman can come out with a great punch at any moment, so he needs to be using his reach a lot more and keeping this fight more on the outside.
Pick him up, Goose. Watch your head.
Better punch output in this round for Funeka. He's thrown 80 so far to Guzman's 43.
Time!
End of round number 7. Well, still to come, our main event. There is Marcos Maidana. He hails from Buenos Aires, 27-1, 26 knockouts. He had that thrilling win against Victor Ortiz last year in California. Got off the deck a couple times to stop him in round number 6. He'll be taking on Victor Pacquiao of the Dominican Republic. 24-0, 15 knockouts. Big step up in class, though, for Pacquiao tonight.
Okay, and move off to the side.
No le dé agua todavía.
Guzman,
Respira,
when you make him miss,
respira.
what we working with? Right hand or left
Guys,
foot?
want you watch your heads in there, okay?
Hey, give me the head bar. Okay, nene.
Guzman.
Bam, bam, bitches. You're gonna touch. Yeah, Papa. Please, listen to me. Listen to me. Because the moment I start boxing,
Seconds out, mouthpiece.
you're going to try. Come on, babe.
Seconds out.
Body shot, okay?
Seconds out.
Remember, Guzman, the body shot.
Watch your heads, guys.
I believe
Watch your heads.
Funeka has a chance to win the lightweight belt. Guzman did not make weight. Funeka dropped in round number 6 from a right hand. Round number 8 begins.
Use it, yo. Use it.
Lennox, despite some of the things that worked well for Funeka in the last round, saw Harold's card, he gave it to Funeka, I did as well. But is he still staying too close to Guzman, staying in his range as they trade big shots?
He is. He's a little bit too close. I think he should be really aiming for Guzman's
Come out
chest.
clean. Come out clean.
If he can't hit him in the head, he should be aiming for his chest. So even if he misses his head, he's going to hit him in the chest and still keep him out there.
Temperament of this fight totally different than the last meeting in which Funeka was the boss. Guzman's made it a little rough and tumble, made it a little awkward at times, and it's worked for him.
Guzman has a lot more tricks up his sleeve than Funeka, and he's using them.
Look at Guzman there, pumping out 3 jabs.
When he's throwing out 3 jabs, he's got to come with that right hand, because those jabs are really, he's setting himself up for that right hand. So he's putting the jab out there, and he's seeing where it's open. That's where he should place the right hand.
Left hand by Funeka caught the chin of Guzman.
See, what I see is the real difference in this fight we saw right there. It's not that Funeka is not landing at times cleanly and not throwing more punches. It's that the punches don't have the same effect on a bigger target. You see him landing right there. 2 shots that in the first fight looked like they would have hurt Guzman, and here Guzman seems contemptuous of Funeka's power.
Well, I think he was always like that anyway, because, you know, Guzman has that mental toughness. And, you know, if it was a war and I would have to pick either man, I would want Guzman, because
the trenches with you.
Yeah, because he's got that. You look in his eyes, you can see what he has. He's got that roughness, that determination, the thing that says, no, you can't hurt me, and I'm going to win.
I hear you about that, Lennox, but in the first fight, it's hard to play it off like you're not hurt when your legs are doing a little dance, you know? He could have that same sense of being contemptuous, but you could see clearly when he was hurt, and here, it's just the punches aren't affecting him the same way.
Well, when you don't even try to make the weight. There's no draining at all of Guzman. He's as strong as he needed to be.
I don't know. What do you say to the guys that put on like 30 pounds or 20 pounds?
But they had to suffer to make that weight in the first place.
We have to be smart. We have, yeah. So move. You're going to please. You're going to add. What's more? You're going
Guzman, don't just sit there and let him get these points off, okay?
Okay.
He's sitting there, he's in 4, 5, 6, 7
Ni siquiera jugando,
If he's sitting there, if he's sitting there,
Joan Guzman talked with him yesterday. He was very excited with the fact that his family was going to be making the trip out to Las Vegas to see him perform. And they are at ringside. Wife Angelica, Maria Teresa, the daughter, 10. Joan Jr., 4. Said, hey, Daddy, fight the tall guy. There he is in green. Daddy's doing good against the tall guy this time. Funeka dropped in round number 6 as we begin round number 9. Close fight. Obviously, that knockdown, a big factor in the scoring. Some close rounds in the middle rounds. We talked about good, experienced judges this time, all 3 of them. Wealth of experience. That should not be a factor. Guzman steps in with that left hand and then moves away from danger.
See, punches like that, when Guzman throws the left hand, he's got to come back with the right hand. Because really, he's putting all his power into one punch when he should really be putting his power into 3, 4.
Unlike the flat-footed Guzman in the first fight with those cuts and the bloody nose, who was right there for Funeka to just pick apart, pick apart, pick apart. Guzman staying on his toes, clash of heads. Guzman was waiting for Robert Byrd to step in and do something.
I'll tell you something else. I think that Guzman in this fight, because of the knockdown, has Funeka, maybe it's not immediately apparent, but Funeka's a little more hesitant than he was in the first fight to close the distance. So you see some of these jabs just hitting